With player personnel managers, players, and coaches on a slight break before the official kickoff of training camp and the kickoff of the 24-25 season, the Carolina Panthers wheeling and dealing despite the fact that we are on a break. Want to find out what those wheelings and dealings have brought? Find out next on Growling and Prowling. Welcome back, you guys. Thank you so much for being with us and taking a little time with us on Growling and Prowling. Of course, I am Mr. CeeLo here, welcoming you back, and we are July, and you know what that means, you guys. That's right. It's just around the corner. We are just about less than 3 weeks away from the kickoff of training camp and the official start of the NFL 24-25 season. Before we get into the business of this show, I gotta acknowledge a few of you guys. Want to give a shout out to King Simba. Thank you for subscribing to the show. Welcome to the family. Want to give it out to Quentin with the Carolina Panther logo. Welcome to the family. And guys, we are quickly, in my wildest dreams, I never would have thought we were getting to this point. But guys, you guys are still showing up and showing out. Thank you so much for joining the show, you guys. And I also have some more news as far as you guys also showing up and commenting on the show. And it's awesome. As I am now, I've got to get to the comments. And as I said, if you guys comment, I will always read them and even reply to you. G. Davis says, I have to second that music complaint. Otherwise, good job and thank you. Listen, guys, I'm not going to go there. You guys have had your complaints, and listen, I'm not going there anymore. I'm not going to do that. So again, just thank you so much for the comment. Next we go to J Black Star. If Bryce Young doesn't learn to get rid of the ball and learn to throw his receivers open, everything Stroud has already shown he can do, we're going to be looking for a new quarterback next year. Sanders possibly. Canellis has already been on that, which makes me like him a bit. Well, J Black Star, listen, I respect your perception on that. However, I do think throwing guys open is a skill set that you have to attain through trust with your receivers. We saw him do that with Adam Thielen last year a lot, which is why Adam Thielen was one of the most highly targeted wide receivers the first 10 games of the season. Now, to your point about them drafting a guy like Shadir Sanders, listen, I know it looks great on paper. And believe me, as much as I would like to say, let's go and get Shadir Sanders if things don't work out, let's take a step back, Jay Black. The reality of it is, this is not who Frank Reich wanted. He wanted CJ Stroud. And the fact when they hired him last year, I can almost tell you, Frank Reich told the organization what they wanted to hear when they hired, when they were going through the hiring process. And I can almost bet that the odds-on in favorites when everybody was talking about CJ Stroud was his kind of guy. And I hope you Panthers fans remember this. When we were going through the process of evaluating whether it was going to be Bryce, it was going to be CJ. I'm telling you, I guarantee you, everybody was that this was going to be the pick up until about 2 weeks ago. And the reality of it is, I had come to grips with this, even though CJ Stroud was my guy. I'm still going to stick by Bryce Young because the reality of it is everybody is saying what everybody's saying that's not a Carolina Panther fan is what they need to do next year is get a quarterback. When the reality of it is, I'm just going to say what it is. Lamar Jackson's no better in Baltimore. And, people will say, well, they still win games. I mean, it doesn't do you a bit of good if you're not winning championships. I know a lot of people are going to say, well, I'd rather be winning games and getting in the playoffs than going home. The fact remains is Baltimore is still a good football team without it. Lamar Jackson. Now, I'm not saying Lamar Jackson is Bryce Young by any stretch of imagination, but the fact is Lamar Jackson's still been in the league and he still cannot consistently pass the football. So, and I know what people are going to say, that's a total bad analogy to use because Lamar Jackson's athleticism. The reality of it is Frank Wright set up Bryce Young for failure in season 1 from the get-go. Because we look at the preseason, guys, go back and look at my shows. I've only been doing this for 1 season. This is my 2nd season covering the Panthers on this channel. But I've been a Panthers fan forever. And when I saw those preseason games and just how dead our offense looked, and all Frank Wright could say was, well, we're just not putting everything out there, or we're not putting the whole book in the game. And I'm not going to go off on that tangent because that's not what this show is about. But Jay Black, I'm going to say it like this. He does need to get rid of the football, but that also entails better play calling. So we got to look at the totality of it. So I totally agree. And he commented on, is this receiving core enough? So listen, I appreciate the comments from you guys, Jay Black and G Davis. Keep them coming, and that goes for everybody. But guys, also don't forget to go to the Facebook page, you guys. Go to Growling and Prowling at Facebook, guys, and go over there and check me out and put some of the things on the Facebook page, you guys. I'm always welcome to check it out. Even though it's really difficult for me to check it out, I'm always appreciative of all the things that you guys post over there and whatnot when you guys post over there. But G Ram says, have the Carolina Panthers done enough on the defensive line for this pass rush to be efficient? Well, I'm not going to address that because I'm going to address that in another show, you guys. Any questions that you guys ask, I'm going to address on it. And I probably will do a show on Bryce Young because there are going to be a lot of people that are going to be speculating if this is a make or break season. I've heard a lot of analysts, whether they be non-Carolina Panther analysts or reporters to NFL reporters and even ESPN, Fox Sports reporters saying this could be the swan song for Bryce Young if he doesn't play better. And I think that's really unfair. But, I mean, life in the NFL is not fair. And I know it's not fair to a lot of you guys because you guys are like me. You guys want to win. And we can't win if we're not playing good at the quarterback position. We just had a top 5 defense, and we were unable to get anything, to show anything for it. Not even a playoff appearance, not even a division title. So I totally understand where people are coming from, what that means, what that entails. And, it's so hard when you want so badly for a guy to succeed and he's just being pummeled right now. But hopefully Dave Canellis has got this thing going. He's showing a lot of confidence in the tight ends that we're seeing. So we could see a relative push at the tight ends. We could see our tight ends catching more. We could see our tight ends catching more balls than they've caught in the previous 3 to 4 years. So that could definitely change the narrative a little bit. But guys, tonight I'm here to talk about the Carolina Panthers closing in on new stadium renovations, which are expected to begin in 2025. And I'm going to show you a few of these before we get out of here tonight, because that's the premise of this show tonight, is to show you the plans for the new stadium, which will begin construction in 2025 and will set to conclude in 2029. Now, with that being said, you guys, I like the looks of this. Now, granted, these are just pictures and what they call, I guess you could say, blueprints or however you want to call them. I'm not an engineer, so on the space, so I don't know what's these. I guess you call color specs, if you will, of what they possibly could look like. I definitely like the way certain elements are going to come to light. Come to light. This is some. There are some very beautiful pictures in this, and I'm really impressed, especially the way the stadium light appears to be light lit up on game night. And just looking at the pictures, I'm actually gonna be thrilled to see this. Even though it's been a while since I've seen a game in the stadium, it's been a long while since I've seen one in the stadium. And especially when you see a lot of the teams that are going to these great big televisions on the that are out there. I like that. You're seeing them outside, and your great big ones, and they're lit up. That Carolina blue is just, yeah, I love it. But looking here at a lot of the renovations from the outside, you're looking as though you're going to see a lot of walking space and whatnot, and a lot more area for fans to have their experiences and so forth. And I just like it. I like the newer innovations that they're making, kind of upgrading from the old Bank of America, or AKA the Ericsson Stadium, if you will. Many of y'all don't remember what it was called, right? And just a lot of the monitors, the great big screens, if you will, the theater-sized monitors and whatnot, just seeing them. It's really awesome. I think it's going to be great. It's so not cool that you're not going to see it until 2029. But I think it's going to be awesome. All the LEDs, LED special effects that are going to go into it. And I think David Tepper did a great job setting this up. I just hope it lasts longer than 10 years. If I recall correctly, they were saying something about this is when the stadium deal comes up for a new stadium. So hopefully this is not going to be a situation where we just do it for 10 years. But that's the nature of the beast, though. But guys, let me know what you think about the Carolina Panthers organization pushing to get this deal through, where they can get these renovations from the city of Charlotte as well as funds from the state of North Carolina. I know a lot of you guys are big against that, but I'm very grateful. I will give a shout out to the people of North Carolina and the people of Charlotte for funding this. So we can have the Carolina Panthers still in Charlotte. Thank you guys so much. You appreciate it. And definitely got to give you guys a growl out. Thank you, Charlotte. You're the best. Thank you, North Carolina. You're the best. But as I said, go to the Facebook page. Let us know what you think, as well as hit me down in the comments. And thank you guys so much for prowling out and growling out. But until the next time, keep prowling the airwaves and keep growling out. Keep pounding.